Now, getting forward in Doom. Being very prepared to kill everything in sight. Using very efficient, brutal methods of killing, destroying, and just generally being extremely unpleasant towards lively impaired. Like that imp over there, he got very life impaired by God damn. Doing my best to... Oh yes. Pin pops a balloon. That's a special mission task in this level. Of that kind that you have to deliver the killing blow to Mancubus with the bare hands, and that one I didn't need to do it, I just wanted to do it like that. And of course, hey, come on, you little bastards. Come here. Walk this way. Be blown to hell. So that is also one of the missions in this level. Blow up 10 enemies with barrels. In a sense, not that difficult itself. But when you have a shitload of other demons and monstrosities which do not die so easily from barrel explosions and generally are quite more hostile towards you, tougher, and in quite many cases also quite able to spewing bullets enough to oh yeah, Cyber Mancubi. Ugly. And very dead. That one at least. So getting up here, I'm getting the Runestone.
And in his terrible rancor between worlds,
some health, and look at that. An Argent Cell with a... That looks like actually more like a bit like Icon of Sin of original Doom, or some sort of, well, variation of Sigil of Baphomet, which has been used in occult things for quite a long time. Anyways, Doom. Plenty of action. Loud action. Lots of it. Come on. Come on, zombies. Shuffle closer to... Shuffle here. Good. You're all shuffling here. Say hello to explosions. And once again I got a task done mostly by just ruthlessly employing my ability to be very durable, actually invincible, invulnerable to barrel explosions. Oh yeah, a Cacker Demon blew up the meaty goop. And while I was at it, so did that one. Oh yep. Oh, indeed. What the fuck are you over there? That thing is those spectre and those pink demons with their variations are all quite tough, insanely tough on the front, meaning you just can't win them in a head-on battle. But luckily they don't know anything about how to Oh yeah, that's also a rocket launcher's task. You gotta kill summoners with the homing missile tech. Not too difficult, at least in sense of Doom. Mostly because once you've gotten the lock on, it actually works quite well. Auto mapping. Just some burning stuff. Oh, lever. Off. Oh, that that lever has opened the secret classic stage. And I must say that the classic Doom would still look very crude, but its graphical style I think would still be very, you could say, it's very functional. It ain't the most, it wouldn't be the most prettiest one around, but it would certainly be functional enough, and of course the sheer speed and breadth of the action in it would make it. I'd still, if Doom would come out now, it would still probably be, assuming at this moment, it would still probably be considered very, it would be considered simplistic, but it probably, its sheer speed and brutality and fun would probably make it, give it some sort of favor. I'm going to bring out the big gun. It's a machine gun. 26 barrels of death. Two stacks of three barrel sets. That's 6 in combined with basic arithmetics. Multiplication, if I remember right, is that concept in English language, which I am not native speaker, so certain expressions and words are quite unfamiliar to me, but there are plenty of words and expressions which I am very familiar with. Oh yes, and now I have 24 times the firepower. "24 times the killiness of one gun. One guy, 24 times as much killing power, which is a lot of killing power. Especially when it's all delivered with a extreme high capacity gun. Yeah, but spewing so much bullets that you can't even start to ponder about it. And this room is actually quite much reminiscent of Doom 2. Of that level, which introduced the Mancubi to player. But of course, in this one there isn't isn't another room behind this with shitload of other new enemies introduced in that game attacking you. Nope, it was much simpler. Well, got a couple of skull keys that are twisted and open these. Time to break that open. Gather as much as ammunition as you can. And we're prepared to meet the pinkies. Meat explosions. I think they went down. But the Revenant hasn't gone down yet. But like this, it certainly, if that doesn't go down, it certainly at least remembers that, hey, you know, you are being killed. Sorry, Hell Knight. You're not, and Revenant, you're not the only one with that missiles. I think his flight back just broke up. I guess the massive amount of firepower delivered to that broke it. That shouldn't be surprising. What the hell? No, Baron! No, you're not gonna spew that green shit at me. But I do say that Barons of Hell in this Doom they are very intimidating. Probably even more intimidating than they were at the first time when they just showed up to murder you. Be very murder happy towards you. Time to go downwards. Up. And there's some more.
Yet as the mighty Titan fell and dread engulfed.
Oops, that's too much. Couple of Caco demons. And I used BFG shot just to get them down quickly, and the fact that there's also a bit of a... You get a mission task from killing 2 or more Cacodemons with 1 shot, and BFG is quite good at that job. It's quite good at killing anything. Going forward. You Mancubi, nothing too excessively dangerous. Place looks very abandoned. There's the drone which gave me the last weapon upgrade or option. My basic guns, chainsaw and BFG, do not count as the basic guns, for they have that special button dedicated to them. Although oh yeah, and luckily the demons are stupid as hell. Mostly because if game wouldn't have a distraction feature which wouldn't distract enemies, it would be completely useless. There's many games do have, even now, have mechanics and techniques and things which are in practical sense completely useless in them, as in Why would you bother stealth, which doesn't give you any kind of benefit and actually possibly just hampers your basic playing, when you could just run through crazy, starting shooting with an immense gun. But luckily Doom is a game in which there's no need for any stealth mechanics. And they are not even implied. Hey, you could use something other tactics than just running at the enemies screaming bloody murder and using whatever horrifying machine of death and destruction in your arsenal. With a fire rate and discipline of a 10-year-old crackhead. Oh, sorry, that was probably on bad taste. That's actually a fun movie, but a very fun movie. But mention of a 10-year-old crackhead as somebody extremely trigger happy. Or probably a very bad analogy. Or even a place where they can be 10-year-old crackheads has something very, very, very badly wrong. The more crack cocaine is something very greedy bastards invented. Hell, even if you are on even if you would do drugs, be in a drug business, try to understand some basic laws of economics, like, you know, you don't want to kill your customer base. It's not good business to murder your customer base or get your customer base killed like this. I really love the chainsaws. They just made it so far. Its only bad thing is that you cannot use it anyway against boss fights, which in a sense kind of makes sense, knowing that it's meant to be the last resort, get out of jail card. That when you're a really bad case, you bring out the chainsaw to get yourself some much needed ammo boosts and all that. So I can understand that point, but it should have some use in the boss fight, knowing that in the BFG does have usually a very good use in boss fight. Oh shit. Time to bring out the hologram and siphons. There you are. Ouch. The basic platforming maneuver didn't work so well. Those pinkies are actually very dangerous. Although in the basic original Doom, you could have just destroyed pinkies quite easily if you could have just back into a corner and then whip out your chainsaw, which in that game didn't use gasoline and wasn't a one-hit kill. It was just very fun melee weapon against most, well, enemies. At least the most weaker enemies. Pink demons were especially susceptible to chainsawing in that. That was a big shot, but the fact that I couldn't move makes it quite ineffective. Hey, come on! Aerial acrobatic murder. Actually, should it be murder? Doom, well, Doom guy is, well, Might be murder, might actually be just considered extremely overblown self-defense, extreme self-defense. For you cannot really see that the guy was taking out the whose degree of force they are starting with. Well, the guy will start using the military shotgun as his basic startup for problem solving, and then just goes up from there, possibly preferring that high caliber machine gun hell thing. Yeah, you cannot really think him to be perfectly friendly. And if video game gives you as load of ammo, gear and stuff, handy stuff, especially if it's this kind of game, not a game like Final Fantasy in which you can which works on a bit different mechanics. You can assume that something big, nasty and unpleasant is behind that door, and actually it is boss fight, which is down for the next video. I'll go battle it then. See ya!